Hey, welcome back to Pure Adrenaline here on Styling Radio. I am your host, West Coast Paul, in the studio with Izzy. Hey, what up, Izzy?
What's up? What's up?
Hey, we were talking about in the last segment, the shit going on and the cops being called and doing this. I have, three boys, and boys will be boys. We always know that. We live through it. They do. But sometimes when you mention the age and stupid, I've got one of them. He's 21. He'll be 22 soon. Sounds just like the the one you were messing with. And this one, well, here's his story. He had a scholarship to go play baseball. I think you remember telling me that. He's a stud. He was doing it. Well, the day he signed his letter of intent, got all the stuff, whoop-de-doo, here you go. He's cruising back, goes to his friend's house. They're celebrating, having a good time. He's driving home. He's doing 105 on the freeway and gets pulled over.
Oh, no.
So you're going, okay. First off, if you've got 6 beers in you, doing 105 is really stupid because you're asking to get pulled over. And sure as shit, he did. He fell out of the car. And so they proceeded to arrest him for, DUI. He was drunk. Here you go. He's pretty lucky. The cop could have written him for reckless driving along with it. But he said, hey, listen, you know what? I don't want to go through that. I don't want you to die in jail. Let's just get you done. Do this. Here you go. So he's in jail for a day. They go through the process. He gets through it all, and he's got it dialed in. He's got probation for 3 years. He's got to go to a school, a DUI school, and pay a fine. And all things considered, that was pretty good. Well, and then you go about 8 months later. He never signed up for his school. He never paid $1 for his fine. And so what's a little over a year ago now, a judge issued a bench warrant for his arrest because he hasn't done anything he's supposed to do. In life, these kids think that, nah, man, whatever you do, you'll be able to get away with it.
Oh, yeah.
They don't understand. The legal system doesn't fuck with you. The legal system is heartless and it is calloused. It is fine lines. I mean, you don't mess with it. It's not your 8th grade teacher saying, geez, you're 2 math pages short of promoting you to 9th grade. Here, do them. They haul your ass away.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I get pulled over for tickets. I mean, I had to get a print off one time for something. I don't remember what it was. I think it wasn't an insurance thing. It was something, but whatever it was, I had to go to the courthouse and get a print off of my driver's license or my driving record. And no shit, they ran out of printer ink. And when the girl handed me this Beat Alton Bible of fucking my traffic violations, she goes, how do you still have a driver's license? Well, a lot of the shit was window tinting and excessive noise pollution with car audio, not stopping short of a stop. It's just fucking bullshit. But the thing is, I would throw the tickets in my damn glove box and I once a month give it to my attorney and let him deal with the shit. That's what he gets paid for. Well, eventually that shit's going to catch up with you.
Yes, and you will get caught.
Yeah,
I
mean,
it's going to happen. Well, as you know, here, about 5 months back, sure as shit, they caught up with him. He was doing something with some gal who he broke up with, and she filed a police report saying that, he was beating on her. And it was complete bullshit. But when they came to talk to him, he's got a bench warrant for his arrest.
Oh, yeah.
For his DUI. So I proceed to go out and watch him haul him into the cop car. And he goes there. He's in jail. He gets the one. The judge sees his file, says, oh, I see you haven't. We have a bench warrant. Your bail's doubled. Here you go. Go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not do this. So he spends 3 days in jail simply because he won't go to the courthouse and get a piece of paper and take it to a driving school.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's too much work for a kid nowadays. I mean...
And nothing's going to come about it if they don't do it. They've gotten so used to, through the system, just like school, in 1st grade, the 2nd grade, the 3rd grade, the 4th grade, he should have never passed. Now, he's a special needs child. he's got a certain, not a disability, but his birth mother she was a drug user, and he was exposed in utero and then exposed. He's actually a sharp kid, but he struggles with certain things, or has, but they promoted him right up through. They never cared.
Yeah.
They just said, you know what, he doesn't deserve to be promoted, but hey, here you go. So he kept getting away with it. Well, in 5th grade, we finally convinced him and talked to him for a number of things in the school. Here you go, redo it. And the minute they did it, you know what, he was fine. But they didn't want to. They thought it would hurt his poor little ego, or his poor little psyche, or his poor little whatever to do this. And we're like, well, we're changing schools, it won't matter. So I digress. So I come forward. He spends 3 days in jail. We weren't going to bail him out. You need to learn your damn lessons. And so for 3 days, he's in an orange jumpsuit eating bologna every day. They basically serve him bologna sandwiches up here at the county jail, morning, noon, and night. So if you don't like bologna, don't get arrested in this county where he is.
Yeah.
He's arrested doing his thing. He gets out. He's so thankful. Well, during all of this time of how stupid he is, he was, before that, living out of his car, and he left it at a Target. It got towed. He lost all of his possessions. Why again? Because he bought it from somebody. He never went to DMV to put it in his name. So when they impounded it, it's still in the name of the previous owner, so he couldn't touch it. It's not his to touch. It doesn't belong to him. It doesn't matter if his shit's in it. It doesn't matter anything. So, again, why do anything right when you can just not do it and think you're going to get away with it? So he loses everything. Now he's arrested. He's out. And the judge gave him another chance. Said, hey, you sign up for the school. Bring me the paperwork back. Everything will be good. We will put you back on probation. It'll be like none of it happened. Here's all you got to do. Well, guess what out there, music lovers, radio fans, and everybody out there who wants to do nothing and hates the police, he didn't do a goddamn thing. He actually did go, got his paper, went to one class, never went back, and figured, who cares? Nothing's going to happen. Well, guess what? There's a bench warrant out for his fucking arrest again, and the cops yesterday came to the door looking for him. Now, he doesn't live here anymore, and I don't know where he is, and I've told him that and the truth. But now he's back to about to be in Orange, eating more bologna. I don't know. What do you do about these kids? Yeah, what the hell can you do to somebody that doesn't think that they need to be accountable or responsible? And when it happens, somebody's just going to truly, in this case, bail them out, rescue them, help them. They're enabled. I'm at a loss. I really am.
Yeah.
He's going to, when they find him, he's going to call crying, and we're going to say, hey, jail must be where you need to be. Nothing else seems to work. I don't know. And so, everybody has their rant. This seems to be the week of stupidity in rants for these 20-somethings. I'm going, he when they catch him, you watch. I'll probably get a call while we're on air, and they'll be, hey, can you come bail me out of jail? And you're going to hear me on the air laugh, tell everybody, here, let me put you on the mic. Everybody listen. No. Enjoy Orange, enjoy bologna, and enjoy Bubba. So.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, it happens to me because you need to know that I do the afternoon show. I'm also on your show. I'm also on Leslie's show. I'm really supposed to be on the morning show, but I don't know. Fucking that didn't happen. Everybody got their own shows, and I went to the afternoon, and I have no problems with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, if there's some kind of problem, it's gonna hit while I'm talking on the radio. It's never failed. And, I've been doing this station for over a year. And before that, I was on other radio stations, okay? if it's gonna hit me, and I might not even be on the radio, I might be in the middle of working on something, and big as shit, it's gonna hit me while I'm on the radio. The cool thing about this station is we don't give a fuck. So we will put somebody on blast. I mean, it's like the other stations that I'm with, we don't do that. This station is for the listeners of what you want. You want the raw stuff. And the numbers and the analytics don't lie. I mean, I'm proud of where we are, but in the same sense, the point is, it's like my mom's in the hospital right now, and it's a bad deal. But the doctors won't call until like I'm on the air, and then all of a sudden I have to deal with this shit. And
well, yeah, it was last week, I think Tuesday's show, or Thursday, I don't remember which one we were doing. All of a sudden, it was like dead air. It's like, and I'm looking at you, and you grab your phone. I'm like, look at Izzy. And then you finally spoke up. It's when they texted you that your mom, about her and the situation. And so, yeah, it never fails. It never fails. This shit will always happen. And like you say, you're on the air more than anybody I know of.
Yeah, and realistically, I just want to be on the fucking morning show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I know. I mean, me and Jimmy, that's what we were supposed to. We brought Jimmy in, and we've got some other people that were supposed to be on the morning show, and everybody was working out their schedules, and we had somebody for the afternoon. This girl had her own fucking show, and everything was great, and then she has boyfriend issues, and it's ridiculous. It's
well, it's growing pains, right? It's what we have. With what we do, I know that I'm gonna coming up. Starting next week, I'll be the Wednesday guest for the afternoon show. Come up there and be part of you guys for a bit, and go there, and hopefully someday the morning show we will pop back in and have some fun with that.
Yeah, I mean, what current management has said is the morning show, that damn morning show, will come back this fall. So I'll have the opportunity to either stay on the afternoon or go back to the morning show. And the thing is, listeners, as much as I love the millions of people that listen to us, I never wanted to do this to begin with. Like, I'm just being real. I didn't want to do the radio, but I kind of got talked into it because I had experience, and it worked out great. And then I left the morning show for 1 week, and these guys they needed me back. They were like, the numbers are dropping, we need you back. We don't know which way we're going. And it's like, are you serious? So no big deal. I jumped back on for you fans, because that's what it was in the instant chat a lot. Is like, where's Izzy?
You jump back in. We started the book Pure Adrenaline. We got this show. It's moving. It's kicking ass. And thankfully, everybody out there listening, we love you there. And we're going to keep expanding and growing as long as we don't end up in jail. Things will be hell. I wonder if there's a way to broadcast from the Pokey.
Well, I mean, Tupac did. I mean, Tupac did, and Free Pepsi did a whole album in Texas while he was locked up over the phone. So, yeah. I mean, the technology now compared to when we started with Slick Chick Radio with Pulse, it's advanced so much. And with Slick Chick, we were the first digital radio station like the original MTV that we were streaming live music videos, and everybody's like, how in the fuck are you doing that? Well, we can't tell y'all our secrets, but that is something that will be coming to Styline Radio, where on any live stream platform you can hear us, and there's virtual videos, of what you like. I mean, this station was mainly put together for the car cruising culture music. The guys sitting in their man caves, the guys working on their cars. I mean, we are an automotive radio station.
Yeah. If you love cars, and I mean the music's great, but like you say, the thing we had together, man cave, car stuff, all of those things tied into it. It's what got, well, when we started this, is what talked about it and got it, because that's, with styling, we're car guys.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. It really is. And
yeah, I mean, to be honest with you listeners, this whole station was put together to be music in the office. It really was. Yeah. I mean, let's not beat around the bush. I mean, we wanted to listen to stuff in the office rather than just listen to Pandora or something. And, I own other radio stations, so, I mean, we already had the shit to do it. We put this whole station together, honest to God, in, 4 hours?
Yeah, it wasn't very long, and we got it out. We got it rolling. And then, of course, we brought in somebody when you had the morning show, and I call him now Clown. This clown came in, and he fucked everything up.
Yeah, I mean, we had a producer that had that this individual, we're not going to name his name, but he worked for me for years in multiple different businesses, and he's been fired from multiple different businesses, and he's kind of a fucking cheerleader. He's a fucking piece of shit is what he is.
Yeah.
And realistically, he was working on a whole different project with Styling, but he kept trying to worm his way in. It gives you the worm into working with the radio. So, we were going through the catalogs of music, and he had worked for Slick Chick Radio at one point, and so instead of having Zach, I went ahead and said, hey, you want to do this so bad here, we'll let you work on it. And then he's like, he wanted to do a morning show, okay? And he wanted to be the host, but he couldn't come up with a radio name. So he is the one that talked me into coming back and doing the show. And I was only supposed to be there to get everybody going and then go back to doing what I normally do, run businesses, And so...
yeah, I mean, you got the show rolling. It was kind of fun. There was this, but then we had a meeting because things weren't right.
Yeah.
You asked me, and I'm like, well, here, let's have a meeting with this guy. And
we had a phone call from the state wanting to know if he was on welfare. Let's be honest.
Well, that
raised a lot of red flags right there.
And then,
that's why the meeting happened.
Yeah, exactly. And so we have a meeting, and it's pretty simple. It's like, okay, here, I'm going to get more involved into this stuff. I want to do, be part. I'm going to get on the morning show. I'm here. We're this. We're that. Here, show me what you got going on. And basically, that afternoon, he quit. And then I say he quit because he had to, or he would have had the shit beat out of him and fired. Which he kind of was anyway. He vanished for a couple, 3 days, and we just kind of like, well, okay, you're done. But we've recovered off of that, and we actually are so much better off because of what I say we've learned, and that he's not part of what we're doing anymore.
Well, what's interesting is, since we're talking about this, okay? I mean, we really should go back to the music, but we're going to talk about this, okay? The big thing is all he had to do was go through the catalog of music, and we have a certain genre and certain style of music we want, okay? And that's what you listeners love listening to, okay? And the big thing is all you had to do was pick out songs, put them in a queue, we would approve it, and then he uploaded to the server. It wasn't fucking educatedly hard. And he got paid damn good money. But then we get a phone call from the state because he pissed off somebody and they turned him in and he was on welfare, living in HUD housing and all this other shit. Meanwhile, we've taken this bitch to trade shows and all kinds of other shit. And then he's interfering with our athlete program, with the drift driver. And that started a whole bunch of shit. So it's like, and these guys were all on the morning show. And I've known these guys forever, but see, the thing is, they're trying to fuck my business for whatever personal gain. So he's collecting money from the state. He's getting money from us. And he's not doing his job. And what it boiled down to, and West Coast Paul is the president of the company. So on the morning show, a lot of you older listeners would remember Paul would come in and we were in trouble because we had did something. And
Yeah.
he would kind of set us straight, and he'd leave and we'd be like, fuck him, and we just do what we do. And it wasn't a skit. It's just how day to day was. You know, Paul would call me and be like, why'd you call this guy a fucking retard on the air? You know, we can get sued. Legal's calling me. And so we had some restrictions of what we could and couldn't do. So, I mean, since we're bullshitting about this, let's get it out in the open. We all we had a vacation coming up that we weren't going to be on the air. That's when we got the phone call from the state.
Yeah.
And then Paul was like, Izzy, what the fuck is going on with this? So we had a meeting with this individual. And from that meeting, he didn't answer the questions that Paul wanted to know. But one of the questions that Paul had, which is a valid question, and you listeners would understand, if something happened to Izzy, which is me, I need to know how to get in the radio. And he offered to show you, but then as soon as we got off the phone, he calls me and he's offended that you ask him on a company that you are the president of, and I want to know what happens, because if Izzy drops dead tomorrow, you're the only body that knows. So he wanted to be important. But
and it was valid, like you say, because for two reasons. I wanted him to explain to us and to me what he did. That was important because we were somewhat suspicious about varying things. And two is to see what he could, tell me or tell us, about how it works and what he's doing and what's this and what's that. That's the best way you ever find out what's going on. You have somebody explain what they do. And he kept saying, well, it's not possible. This is bad. That's bad. And you're right. You called me later and said the second we hung up, I was a piece of shit asking him questions I shouldn't be, and what's my problem and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And the thing is, here's the other thing is, when we were on vacation, he had thousands and thousands of catalogs to go through music, and he was supposed to be uploading stuff, right?
Yeah.
When he got fired and I had to go to Southern Illinois and get all the equipment that he had, laptops, a company phone, all the stuff, because, he was contracted to do work on the station on the back end down there.
Correct.
Okay. We decided, now he's terminated, we got to get our company equipment. We're going to postpone going back on the air with the morning show, and we're going to fix our problem. Now, mind you, listeners, we were under review to be syndicated. When I got into the back end of the radio, there wasn't shit for music.
He fucked everything he could find.
Yeah. And it's so bad, the software company told me that he had fucked up the back end of the station so bad that basically, and the program that we use, we own the service, okay? But they said basically we had to start over. But there was one guy from that software company that said, if you give me a little bit of time, I want to see if I can undo all the shit he fucked up in case we ever have this issue before. So I had to trust this guy in England that developed the software that Live Nation and everybody else uses, all these radio stations use, to see if he can unfuck what this person did.
Yeah, because, man, when you called and said we have to reboot, basically, or reload, no way.
And the other thing is there wasn't shit for music on the station anyway. I don't even know. One of the big things is when we decided to do this station, I didn't want the same music played every 2 hours or the same song every hour.
Correct. We wanted the variants to roll through. Yeah, not because most stations, if you listen to it for 4 hours, you'll keep hearing the same song.
Yeah, and Stylin is not like that. In our numbers showing that, I mean, we have millions of listeners a day. I mean, right now we're at 600 and something thousand listeners. And as the night progresses, we'll hit the numbers will go up and down. I mean, after Adrenaline gets done, the next day I get a report and it's like, you had 4 million listeners.
Yeah, we go over that report. It's great. I mean, and it's just awesome. And like you say, we say, or I say, however, with Growing Pains, we're lucky. I call him the clown. You could say worm. It was probably both. We're lucky that we discovered what we discovered when we did, because I said the station was about to grow, we thought, and to do a number of things. And that if he would have been there another 3 months, we would have been behind 3 years.
Oh yeah, it took them about 6 weeks to fix some of the issues that he had caused, and we had to do one at a time.
Like throwing sugar in a motor.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost, when you think about it, you could reference it. So, but we're glad we're here.
Yeah, and to kind of comment more on the story, so after he was terminated, I spent several weeks after work going through the catalog, doing the music, putting on what you listeners wanted to hear. I didn't go off a request list. I went off of what I like, that we would beat down the block, car cruising and all that, right? Then the next thing is, it come back and there were so many other networks that loved what we were doing, or what I was basically doing. They were willing to syndicate us under a year, which is fucking unheard of. They never ever syndicate a radio station broadcast in under a year. Sometimes it takes 5 fucking years to have the numbers, but so many people, I mean, they were honest, they were like, hey, we want to make a deal with you guys. We want to do this. We want to do this. And I'm like, yeah, so I'm calling Paul and I'm like, hey man, I mean, here's the numbers. And Paul's like, my God, who are these fucking people listening to us? And it's because of you listeners, we're dying for this kind of music, dying for this kind of entertainment. And we highly appreciate all of you guys. We're car guys. We're no different than you. I wear blue jeans to work, and hell, this morning I got fucking splashed with fucking water from the upstairs neighbor cleaning his balcony. So it's like, we try to make the station as real as possible, But the thing is, it was crazy when I fully took over the station, and I spent nights, late nights, I mean, sometimes overnighters, working on this and this and this, and going through catalogs to put the best music we can. So with that said, guys, we're going to go back into the music, and you're going to hear from us on the top of the hour.
Hey, this is West Coast Paul out.